In the vast, silent theater of space, a new story began. There was a swirling of dust and gas, a slow gathering of matter. From fire and fury, a world was forged. This was the young Earth, a sphere of molten rock cooling under the gaze of a distant sun. For an age, it was a world of drama, of violent volcanoes and crashing asteroids. But slowly, ever so slowly, a great stillness began to descend. The planet began to find its form, its shape, its destiny. A quiet song began to play, a melody so soft it was almost silence. Then, a miracle happened. Water began to fall. It came as vapor condensing in the cooling atmosphere, and then as rain. Rain fell for centuries, filling the great scars on the planet's surface. Vast oceans were born, their waters dark and mysterious. In these depths, life stirred. The first breath was not of air, but of chemical reaction, a tiny spark in the primordial soup. Single cells, simple and perfect, began to dance to the rhythm of the tides. This was the first note in a symphony that would grow to fill the world. The song was just beginning. The planet learned to breathe. The atmosphere, once thick with unbreathable gases, began to change. These tiny new life forms, through their quiet existence, started to release oxygen. A new kind of air began to form, wrapping the planet in a protective blanket. The sky, once a hazy orange, slowly cleared, revealing a brilliant blue. Light could now pour down, touching the surface, warming the shallow seas. This light was a call to life, an invitation to grow, to reach, to become something more. The Earth was no longer just a rock in space, it was becoming a garden. The world was a canvas, and life began to paint. Green algae spread across the water's surface, capturing the sun's energy. The oceans, once empty, began to teem with strange and wonderful creatures. Life, having conquered the seas, ventured onto the land. The first plants took root in the damp soil near the water's edge. They were pioneers, transforming barren rock into fertile life. They reached their simple leaves towards the sun, creating the first forests. Primeval forests were quiet places, filled with damp earth and decaying leaves. They created shade and shelter, where new forms of life could emerge and thrive. A delicate balance was established. The planet seemed alive, a single vast organism. Then, after so many ages, a new kind of being appeared. We arrived. Early humans were not masters of this world, but a humble part of it. We walked softly on the land, our numbers small. We looked up at the same stars and we wondered. We learned to read the signs of the earth, the turning of the seasons, the tracks of animals, the feel of the coming rain. But the quiet harmony was not to last. A change began. Slowly at first, then with breathtaking speed. We discovered a new kind of power, not from muscle or water, but from burning the Earth's ancient treasures. Coal and then oil unlocked a ferocious energy. This energy fed machines that could do the work of 1,000 hands. Factories rose like new, dark mountains, their chimneys breathing plumes of black smoke into the sky. The rhythm of life began to change, moving from the slow pace of the sun and seasons to the frantic, relentless beat of the engine. The song of the earth began to be drowned out by a new sound, the roar of industry. Roads of asphalt cut across ancient forests, severing connections that had existed for millennia. Cities exploded in size, sprawling across fertile land, their lights blotting out the stars at night. The Earth's quiet song of creation has now become a cry of distress. This cry is heard in the silence of felled forests, where the birds no longer sing. It is seen in the ghostly white of coral reefs, once vibrant cities of color, now bleached graveyards by the warming seas, by the acidifying seas. It is the roar of hurricanes. It is the roar of typhoons, supercharged by the extra heat in the ocean, unleashing their fury on coastal communities with unprecedented violence. The consequences are here, now, touching human lives. Families are forced to flee their homes as rising seas swallow their coastlines. Yet, in the midst of this chorus of pain, a new note is sounding. It is quiet, but it is persistent. It is the whisper of hope. This hope is not a passive wish, but an active force, born from the hands and hearts of people who have chosen to listen. It is found in the simple, powerful act of a child planting a single tree, a small gesture of faith in the future. It is heard in the voices of young people around the world, demanding action, refusing to accept a broken world as their inheritance. It is the brilliant ingenuity of scientists and engineers developing new ways to power our world. Fields of solar panels turn to face the sun, drinking in its clean, abundant energy. Majestic wind turbines turn gracefully on hillsides and coastlines, harvesting the power of the breeze. We are learning to be smarter, to do more with less, to design cities where nature is not an afterthought, but an integral part. Rooftop gardens, green walls, restored urban rivers. Around the globe, communities are taking action to heal their local environments. The earth is speaking. It asks a question with every rising tide, with every scorching summer, with every vanished species. The question is simple. Will we listen? Will we answer its cry of pain with the actions of healing? We cannot turn away. We must face this challenge with courage, with wisdom, and with a deep and abiding love for the world that has given us everything. The time for indecision is over. The time for a new symphony has come. Our answer must be a chorus of actions, both small and large. It begins with each of us. Let our answer be a song of healing, a promise of renewal, a testament to our love. Let us begin.